Hello, everybody. Welcome to Broken Wing Racing League's GT3 Sprint Championship recap show, season 17, round 5 here at Daytona. I can imagine everybody is exhausted of Daytona right now. We had Mech there a week ago. We had all of IMSA there this week. We had the D24 this weekend. I think everyone's tired. I think it's we've been Daytona'd out. We had a pretty substantial grid last night. I believe like 55-ish cars. It's a lot of freaking cars. um, we had Dylan Thomas of the Thunder Thighs took the night off, decided to hop in the booth with Jason, and I gotta say it was awesome. Jason having someone to kind of ping pong and bounce off of was great. Dylan is awesome to listen to on the broadcast. I thought he crushed it. He had a lot of really good insight. He um he had some good coffee references. That was awesome. um Other stuff, I mean, he just kind of, I don't know, he had a perspective of a racer like that's in this every week, and he kind of brought in, like, they would go to look at an incident and he'd be like, "Hey, look, why don't we bring that back another 100 meters and see what started that, what kicked it off?" And that was I thought that was really fun. I mean, that's why, like, professional sports, you have a play-by-play and a color commentator. You know, Jason is fantastic at play-by-play, and it's good to throw a color commentator in there. Craig, get him on the payroll. Let's get this man in the booth. Though we'll miss him on the tracks. That's maybe he can commentate while he drives. I don't know. We'll have to figure something out. But yeah, no, it was great to see him in the booth. Really brought the production up another notch from it's already pretty spectacular as is. So as we hop in, we got qualifying. There's a number of people in new cars that were from the Daytona 24 race that didn't want to jump back into their normal car. So we had a Gage was rocking the Porsche, which was just an absolute monster here. Um, he and a couple others were. I mean, if you weren't in a Porsche, you were struggling in the top 10. That is for sure. He sets the overall pole and pro pole. And actually, there was a Valhalla 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty crazy. Daniel Haynes was second overall and pro am pole. Travis Deegan with another great drive in the Mustang. I think he was probably the highest. Nope, Daniel was in a Lamborghini. I think Travis was one of the highest non Porsches with the rookie pole in 8th overall. And for a minute there, the AM poll was extremely tight. I think Scott, somebody else, and me were like, oh, I could probably just look. Scott, me, and Andrew Frank. Yeah, the three of us were like 0.009 apart, separating us. And then freaking Craig Reese comes in and pips us by like a quarter of a second, which, whatever, man. Just kind of kill the little vibe we had there. But no, great run from Craig. I think he's up in like this is 32nd. I want to say he's up in 28th. So that is your grid. Pretty tight times. I mean, I think most everybody was in the 43, 44, tail end was running 45, 46s, but a good majority of everyone was in the mid 40s. Yeah, 43s, 44s all the way down to 38th. So the top 38 were all in the 44s, and really 45 not even that far off. So tight qualifying, as everyone knew it would be. I mean, Daytona, we've all had a ludicrous amount of time to practice here. So yeah, let's hop into the race. We're gonna try to keep the highlights a little shorter because we have some points battles going into the first half championship round. We want to highlight. So unfortunately, and I knew it would be. I think I joked in Discord that like survival will hinge on when someone cooks the brakes in T1, do they slide away from me or to in front of me, or if the bus stop is just death. And that's kind of what happened here. We'll go through. Everyone gets away pretty clean. Up ahead, you can see the rumblings, and there goes one of the or not Thunder Thighs, uh, one of the Bluth's real estate teams. Um, Bounces off the wall. We got a Mustang out there. Everybody in here. I'm not seeing nearly enough brake lights for all the chaos that's happening in front of them. Um, but yeah, so you can see the Porsche kind of is just stuck there, causing this line to back up, and this line's going to start getting congested from that. But I mean, here we'll back up even a little bit behind me. I think Christopher Daniels, unfortunately, getting kind of bounced around. I'm trying to swerve around and stay as tight as I can. He has to avoid me and collects Elliott. It's just it's unfortunate. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things. It sucks that lap one T1 is just such a bear. It caused we always seem to just run into a lot of chaos. And there's a big fields, tight battling. Everyone's trying to grab every inch. It's gonna happen, but doesn't make it any less sucky. Let's hop into some stuff that's not sucky. Let's find our good buddy Aiden. Here he is. Um, him and Mr. Well, currently he's getting harassed by both of your team leading Carrera Azteca drivers, Mark and Marshall. Just absolute great liveries. Mark's gonna uh, run side by side on him. Ooh, we got two side by sides. Is that Rodrigo? Side by side through the kink. Everyone keeps it alive. Terrifying. Unfortunately, I believe a friend of the program, Connor Burns, got pushed off or ran wide through the kink and caught dirt, and that never goes well, unfortunately. Everyone avoids that chaos in this little group here. Marshall's gonna just keep Aiden real honest there, and I think he's gonna snag this position for the moment. But Aiden has the inside going on to the banking, holds it nice and tight. Nobody's doing anything too sketchy. Aiden gets a little wiggle, another wiggle, but he puts the power down, and Marshall succeeds. Can't get down below because there's a Chris Lambeth holding him off. Marshall thought he had Aiden, ends up losing too. Great cold tires battling. That's what you're looking to see. If we can just all find our way through T1, we could be experiencing this. So great stuff to see. At this point, people really start to settle down. I mean, everyone is desperate to not lose the draft because if you lose the draft at this track, you're dead. It's over. It's game over. So, so everyone was very much trying to not lose draft. And we hop on with Prashant into lap 3. Let's back it up a little. So I was not at this point not too far behind this, and I could see this happening, but this 3 Mustang stack here, Prashant, um, Scott, and Matt Benson, and Prashant sees Scott leave it open just a little bit, and boom, sends it, takes a spot, took the opening. That was a really quality move from Prashant there on oh, is this a Huna Pegasus design? Kinda. Very cool. Let's go back to Chase. Yeah, so Prashant getting the move done was really, really quality. Um, but yeah, like I said, at really most everything else for really a lot of this race was everyone was just trying to stay in line and stay in the draft because if you lost it, it was it was tough going. Here's a fun thing that Jason made sure to pick up on the stream. He saw the end of it and decided he needed to scroll back and watch the whole thing. Much appreciated. um, we'll start with I feel like I was the cursed monkey paw. I let Jackson by going on to the banking, and this is the second or third time I've done something like this in this race, where literally as soon as I do that, what do? They loop it in T1, and I have to hit the grass. I think Angel right behind me follows. He is not as lucky with hitting the grass as I was. But yeah, it felt like the cursed monkey paw every time someone went by me. they looped it right in front of me in T1, and so that was really fun. But now here we go. We start understeering into this, and it turns into oversteer, and around we go. And now we're just dreaming of a long walk off a short bridge, waiting for everybody to go by. And then, as you can see, we try to do a nice parallel clean. I waited for everyone. I knew everyone was going to be coming out on the outside here. Just stay shallow, and then stay out here, take the wide line, and just not interrupt, not interfere, tuck in behind who is this? Oliver Brooks, and then get back to battling after that. But yeah, that was super unfortunate, and it was fun to relive on stream. Let's see, we got, I think that's gonna be about it for the race. Oh, hold on, we have Elliot as well, makes a good move. Let's hop over there. Elliot, I know, did not have his best race, but he did get to make a pretty solid move on Mr. Charles Whedon here. Just another one. He's trying to hold it around the outside, put a lot of pressure on Charles, make him feel his presence. And I believe it's going to be, is it into the next horseshoe? Yeah, Charles leaves the door, and you can't leave the door open with someone like Elliott behind you. He will take advantage of that and make the move. So job done for him. Great stuff. Yeah, I think the last bit here is we had some really tight finishes at the end. Go on board with Braden Daniels on the last lap. If you notice, he is not ahead of Mr. Koffold. They were having a really, really tight battle, and little blue flags. That was really good from Lee there. Good job, Lee Winters. Uh, and then these two just in a war here, and I believe Braden he puts the pressure. He makes Jeff have to stay really pretty low, which is gonna really hurt Jeff's whole bus stop. There's no way he's gonna get a really tight exit. And there goes Braden. He tucks in the slipstream and pulls out right at the perfect time, and just barely takes the second overall from Jeff. That was really quality stuff. And then we had one more. I believe this is your closest finish. Where are you, Mr. Kern? Tyler or Rich? They as well had there we go. Okay, cool. So yeah, Rich and Tyler have a really tight one. Looks like Rich just gets a slightly better run out of the bus stop, and this is absurdly close. Let's look at the rear chase. See just how oh, that's brutal. Rich barely sneaks that one away from him. So some really, really quality end of race finishes there. With the we'll get into the winners. We had Gage absolutely running away with this pro and overall win. He was like 15 seconds or something absurd ahead. We saw Braden Daniels. He snagged P2 overall and the Pro-Am win. He had that either way. Jeff's a pro, but great run from Braden. Um, Scott Weber uses the power of his new Broken Wing livery to take the AM win in 16th. Jason referred to him like I do as Webber, like the Australian Mark Webber. So that was that was hysterical. And then Bill Travis Deegan continues his absolute decimation of the rookie class with another win and I believe 4th overall. So that is your race. Let's jump into the points really quick. We've got some battles. Mark Foley of Carrera Azteca. Um, He's got a solid 200-point lead at the moment, with his drop week being a drop. So we'll see how that goes. Peter's keeping him honest. Really good battle here. Gage and Jacob for third overall. They're about 100 points apart. So that's it's pretty close. But looks like, Marshall in his inaugural season in the top 5. That's good stuff. But yeah, I think Mark, goes out and puts a solid Mark Foley performance down. I don't see any way he does not take this first half. Now let's hop into the Pro-Ams. We've got Braden Daniels having a fantastic season, just super consistent. He's leading by about 100 points over Aiden Gortz, having himself a pretty knockout season here in the Pro-Ams. I think this is his first. With Chris Lambeth and Chris Stewart in third and fourth. I really think Chris Stewart's unfortunately missed a couple of races. I thought he would be a front runner after a couple of really strong runs from him. And Brandon Burns rounds out your top 5 in the Pro-Am. Great stuff. Looks another one like, I think this battle for third, that's super close. So it'd be interesting to see who grabs podium there. But I would say Braden, with how he's been finishing, I find it tough to think he will not hold on to this first half title. Unfortunately, due to that horrific spin that everybody saw, my first half title hopes have just flushed down the toilet. I need to get him by 300, get Tyler by 300 points. He's got a minimum 511. He can have a horrific race and still he'll get 511 points. So I need to pull out about minimum 800 and something points this weekend at the last round. So congrats, Tyler, on your title for the first half. And then we have our fearless leader, Mr. Craig Carroll, rounding out the podium. Really not too far off the heels of me. And Scott Webber and Charlie Bass rounds out your top 5. In the rookie class, we've got Travis Deegan with the dominating lead, Daniel McSelvey in second, and front of the program, Connor Burns in third with a narrow margin over Matthew Zuckerman, who I will point out was rocking a very choice Dale Earnhardt Sr. livery on his McLaren at Daytona. Quite nice. Good stuff. Just taking a glance at, who has a chance of getting promoted out of the rookie class based on races. It looks like Travis, Daniel, Connor, Matthew, Reagan and Ryan, Daryl, Adam maybe not, John Malone. A couple of these guys, I think there's a number of people who have a shot. I think you need 5 races. So it'll be interesting to see where they all get shaken out. We'll take a look on Monday. I'm sure we'll have the announcement after the race, and we'll see how they fit into all their new classes. As we hop over here into the teams, Carrera Azteca holding a pretty formidable 700-point lead on Draft Punk Gold, and Vols Holla are your top 3. Thunder Thighs and Draft Punk Silver. 2 Draft Punks in the top 5. Great stuff. Let's take a look at the car title. We've got the Z06 really ramped up and at the top here with a pretty good 200 points per driver lead over the Porsche, which, both of these have pretty high driver counts. And then the Mustang with the highest driver count coming in not too far behind. Lambo, not doing too shabby. And then we have the split where it starts to fall off, and still no M4s. Nobody loves the M4, it seems. Let's hop into the overall. Currently, we have a tie going into the first half here between Mark and Travis. Peter rounds out your podium pretty far back, and Gage and Braden Daniels round out your top 5. Daniel McSelvey in ninth. Oh, Chris Lambeth in 10th. Nick Mazza in 15th. We've got Elliott in 20th. Ooh, three-way tie between Elliott, Eric, and Tyler. I think these are all. Oh no, Eric is in the Bluth team. He's not on the Draft Punk official team, though. Sneaking suspicion they are, still sister teams of sorts. We got tie for 25th between Jablonski and Matt Benson. Your boy in 27th. Chitterling in 30th. Another tie for 34th between Adam Thomas and Rick Wishon. We got Reagan Chandler in 40th. Steve McAllister in 45th. Adam Tingle in 50th. Austin Reed in 55th. Tie between Lee Winters and Oliver Brooks. A couple of Lambo drivers for 60th. Max Poe in 65th. Tie for 69th between Connor Greer and Josh Goen. Michael Chody in 75th. Garrett Sykes in 80th. Marcello Machado in 85th. Brendan Moaning in 90th. And Blake Patterson rounding us out in 94th. So we've had 94 different people running this season so far. That's pretty awesome stuff, if I'm being honest. That's really cool. But yeah, I think everyone's ready for next week. It's Champ's Choice. Your previous season champion, Austin McGill, picked Road Atlanta. So I think a well-known track, very well known for being a little chaotic through the S's. We'll see. I believe last time we were there, we had some pretty substantial blue flag drama. So hopefully everyone has a clean race. We have a good time and we round this season out with this half season out with a bang. So let's see. Tomorrow on Tuesday we've got classic Red Bull Ring for broke the endurance championship, GTPs, GT3s, Red Bull Ring in the rain. Doesn't look like it'll be pouring rain. Some spotty rain. Maybe dries up, maybe doesn't dry up. Who knows? It'll be interesting. Wednesday, ARCA. Thursday, open wheel. Not sure where they're at this week. Tonight I believe is the second round of Monday night community night. So everyone go check that out. And then Sunday we'll see you again to crown some first half champions in the GT3 Sprint Championship. So until then, I'll catch you later.